These are absolutely atrocious, and it has Celtics fans fired up. Look at these new jerseys that Nike came out for the Celtics. They're absolutely gross. And we're going to be diving in, looking at what they could have been in resemblance to this championship. And then we're going to dive in, looking at some past jerseys and looking at how better those ones are compared to this one. All of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. You guys have been absolutely killing it, showing your support over on the channel. Less than 300 subscribers to our goal of 6,000 before the start of the season. So if you guys do enjoy the content, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button to make sure you stay up to date on everything. Without further ado, let's dive into the video at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And like I discussed in the introduction, what is this atrocity? This is absolutely horrendous. We're going to be discussing and diving in, looking at these Celtics jerseys, going over this one that we've seen today. This one, absolutely atrocious, ladies and gentlemen. Look how gross that thing is. I do not like it at all, and there's been absolute uproar from everybody on Celtics media about this jersey. We posted about it yesterday in our community page. Nobody was a fan of it over there. Nobody seems to be a fan of it on Twitter. Nobody seems to be a fan over on Reddit. Everybody that I talk to, not even Celtics fans, thinks it's the worst jersey, and I have no idea what this really resembles. I know Celtics jerseys, the past ones, have some, nods to some older Celtics jerseys, which we'll see in later in the video here. But this one doesn't really resemble much. I do like that neon green. I'm not going to lie. That might be the gross point for some people, but I personally do like that neon green. It's just the base color looks like a mix of greens, like a dark green mixed with the black, mixed with the brown. I don't know what it is, and it's just not a really pleasant color. Now we haven't seen the jerseys, the numbers, we haven't seen the names on the back, so it could look better with the neon green all illuminating on the jersey, but right now, personally, I am not the biggest fan of these. This is, I think, the worst jersey that the Celtics have had as a city edition in the last couple years, and they've been hitting on some home runs the last couple of seasons, which, like I said, we'll dive in and be looking at those. So the fact that they kind of swung on miss on this opportunity, especially on a jersey where the Celtics just won the NBA championship, where they could have done so many nods and tiebacks. I personally think it is absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section about this jersey. Like I said, not like just myself, a lot of Celtics fans and NBA fans in general think that this jersey is absolutely atrocious. And the Celtics do like to stay basic. They do like to stay to, their normal nods of green, black, and white. They're not going to have a red jersey or a blue jersey, which I totally understand. It's for the tradition. But this jersey, in my opinion, is just not it. But let's kind of dive in and discuss what it could have been and looking down memory lane, looking at some of these past jerseys that the Celtics fans, I guess, should have been happier on the fact that they were that City Edition jersey. Maybe have not taken it as much for granted. But personally, I think the Celtics should have done some sort of championship nod back to 2008. And if we all know the honorable jersey that was in 2008, they had some really good ones. They obviously had the green and white, the white and green, the normal homes and aways, but they had two other jerseys. They had the green and black alternates, and they also had the green and gold jerseys. And personally, that's where I think the Celtics should have gone with this jersey right here, this green and gold Pierce one that we always used to see, even if it wasn't a carbon copy of the jersey, some sort of resemblance, some sort of look alike would have been perfectly fine for me, and it would have just made me happy. Some green, some gold. We've seen that in some past jerseys, but necessarily honoring this championship squad that won in 2008 wearing these jerseys, kind of having that resemblance back, especially with this squad who hadn't won a championship since 2008, and fans have been longing for this long, showing some honor, showing some throwbacks. Sacramento did theirs with their early 2000 jerseys with their city edition this year. Why couldn't Boston have done the same? I don't know. I think Nike just picks and chooses the ones that they want to do that are cool, and then the rest of them. They pick 10 jerseys, they do cool, and then the last 20, they're just like, all right, random designs, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Shout out to Pete Rogers. If you know Pete Rogers, he should be the person working for Nike directing this jerseys, and if you don't, go to shop at Banner 18 and go cop yourself a jersey. I caught myself my first one yesterday after eyeing it for a long time, and I'm super, super ecstatic. Little shout out there for Pete there. But let's dive in and let's look back at memory lane and look at some of these old jerseys that the Celtics have worn. So we're going to be looking at an article here for the history of the Celtics City Edition uniforms dating back to 2017-2018. This article is by Jack A10, courtesy of Celtics blog. I just went and grabbed some pictures for the jersey. So yeah, 2017-2018 campaign. This is the first jersey the Celtics had. Al Horford in that gray jersey. Don't really know if you remember it. IT famously wearing it a little bit. It was a nice jersey. Personally, I really like the gray and green jerseys. I know some fans weren't the biggest fan of the uniform, but to be honest, I didn't think it was too horrible. It had a little bit of a 2008 championship nod as well on the strap of the shorts. And again, like I said, come on. You're going to do that on the 2024. Honor the jersey to the 2018. If you can do it in 2018, if you can do it in 2017, excuse me, you can do it now. Next, these jerseys, a lot of fans do remember, and this is probably one of the most infamous jerseys with Kyrie Irving having a shoe colorway for these Kyries coming out with this jersey, the Celtics one. But honestly, I really like this jersey. It paid a little bit of homage to the Larry Bird Celtics with that green and yellow, similarly not the green and gold that we see now. And this was a clean jersey, all white, green, yellow, something that Celtics fans like myself hadn't really seen represented in the jerseys. So it was definitely something new and definitely was something interesting. I really did enjoy this one. These ones might be one of my favorites, though, again, like I said, that green and gold can never go wrong. And this did a little bit of a tribute to those green and gold ones. A little bit of the font threw me off. Not gonna lie, Nike does have some weird fonts with these jerseys. They're a little bit more of a traditional font style. I think I would have liked the jersey a bit more. But personally, these green and golds are homage. They're classic and they are nice. Next, these white ones. Personally, wasn't the biggest fan. Kind of reminds you of the banners that the Celtics hang up when they retire a jersey number. Had the Boston Celtics on, excuse me, on the front with the 8 underneath with Kemba here, kind of showing like a jersey retirement. It was cool hanging up the banner. I did like that representation, but honestly, the font, the kind of display of the jersey is not my favorite. I don't like the Boston Celtics kind of presented right there in front. Honestly, if you take away the Boston, just have the Celtics with the 8, it might look a little bit better, but then it'd just be kind of a normal jersey. Honestly, not one of my favorites, but still, nonetheless, a decent jersey. These ones are also really clean as well, the green and white ones. One that I think is definitely forgotten a bunch by Celtics fans. It was in the last recent years of being a Celtics City Edition jersey, but it is one of the cleanest. The font, again, like I said, not my favorite font, but I don't mind it kind of with the popping out, making it like a 3D effect. And this one might be one of my favorites in this list, but it's kind of near the middle of the pack. Next, well, we already know those ones. The infamous Marcus Smart. These ones, the Bill Russell tributes, having the diamond rings on the side. I'm not going to lie to you guys, have to be my favorite. And I had to put a picture of Marcus here due to the fact that this was the last jersey that he wore for the Boston Celtics here. But honestly, I really do like this jersey. Has to be my favorite City edition of all time. Pays tribute to Bill Russell, who had passed away that year. Honors the Boston Celtics. They were so close to a championship, winning a championship in that jersey. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. If anybody has a jersey of this, Tatum, Brown, Smart, anything, let me know because this has got to be one of my most sought after jerseys. And this was a clean one. And then lastly, looking at last year's jersey, kind of honoring the parquet floor. I didn't really mind this one. Honestly, it's not that bad looking in hindsight, looking at a retrospective of all these jerseys, especially looking at this one. Compare this to this. It's absolutely a complete 180. Compare this to this. It's a complete 180. Compare this to this. It's a complete 180. This is absolutely the worst one. Maybe you could say the gray one. Maybe you could say the gray one and this one compete. But honestly, this is a clean jersey as well. This has to be the worst one. Celtics fans, let me know what you think down below. I am absolutely disgusted by this jersey. And we haven't even seen the full jersey yet, but I think they could have done so many better things, gone in so many better colorways. Like I said, thank you for coming down memory lane. We saw some green and golds, we saw some white jerseys, and this is the first time we're seeing a neon green, dark green, and green jersey. I don't know. At least it's not like the Bucks who only stick with the blue and the cream color the only time that's the only jersey they come out with. At least we're not doing something like that. But Honestly, I think a different shade of green would have been better. Maybe even with the white with the neon green and this lime green would have looked a little bit better. I don't know. Like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. We're going to have a post about the in-season tournament court that also got leaked. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date on all of that stuff, make sure to check the community page because that will be going up shortly after this video goes up. Like I said, thank you guys so much for tuning into the episode today where we broke down these disgusting jerseys and going down some memory lane of some past jerseys. Like I mentioned, Celtics news is a little dry at the moment, but when the news does come sparking up, training camp will be starting soon. Media day is just less than a week away, so we'll have all the news referring to that as well. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything, the little tidbits revolving around this team, make sure to hit that subscribe button and get ready for the season. Once again, I'm psyched up. Can't wait. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Bruce Velez. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.